scene, and the end of it with the terrible sentence of the teacher, but also terrible sentence. But this is the what we talked before about. Okay, one word can change the life. Um, um, I feel if it was Maya from Maya's today, so I could I don't know, step on or talk about it, or put it on the table and like learn something or say something about it. But I remember the scene, and I remember when we shot it, it not was so much takes on this part in the door in the end of the lesson, and the teacher told me that, and I remember it was so fluently so fluent to go to this paint and this
Yeah, no, I must say that we took when we shot this scene, there were people that statistics, like people that like actors that are coming to the scene, you know, and they had to be like the pupils, the students in class. They have the actors, and they had to just be actors like students in class, but they were so shocked.
the beats
The beats, yeah. The actors that, in the class, there are the students, they were so into the scenes, and it was so quiet that we had to say, you need to be like a normal classroom. And they're like, okay, but every
the
time
animals, teenagers. They were so
quiet. It was they were so into what's happening between them.
Well, just for the audience, what you're referring to is this very explosive line, right? Is it in the first episode, isn't it? In the classroom, where the teacher compares. Well, you can tell me the words exactly, but can you explain? Because I remember the words, but maybe you can just contextualize what he says.
Okay, so Lian's idea is the prompt that Lian and all the students has to bring to class is a problem that is a real problem from their life, and that is breaking some of the civic rights. And Lian, after a day in the swimming pool, when they had a conflict with Arabs, her idea is not to allow Arab people to the swimming pool. And after he is trying to explain how this is this is this is not a democracy, and this is racism and everything. He say, what if you in that moment, how would you feel if there was a sign fats are not allowed to the swimming pool, right? Something how did it translated?
Exactly.
Yeah, and yeah.
So that was the line that was very explosive, because he's asking, well, how would you feel about it if we put a sign up that says, no fat people allowed at the pool? And he sort of threw it back at Leon. But the way you reacted on camera was really, I felt that was such a strong turning point for you. And I could, I really felt like there was something, it was a major turning point for Leon. Can you remember how it felt when he said that line to you, and how what you were dealing with to bring out your reaction, Maya?
Maybe it's like I imagine how word can be so physical, and so physical hurt, like to feel how someone burned your soul so fast in so like a little word, like how mouth can be like a gun or something. And yes, it's very, I use it a lot in acting. I feel when I need to feel something immediately, and I imagine how like this it's inside me, like how feels like um איך אומרים אלימות?
Violence.
How feel violence, soul violence, something like that. I think
like
so.
Like a weapon, like the word is a weapon almost.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that the way I thought your acting in that moment was so powerful. And, I don't know where people come from or what their background is, but it was very visceral. And I think you did an amazing job with that. It must have been hard for you to do that as well. So I think it was really, really an amazing turning point for the character somehow. I know that my goodness me, I haven't even asked you some of the questions. I know that I could sit on here for hours and you haven't got all day. So maybe I should ask you some more of those sort of general questions for an American audience that I have, that just references they might not understand.
Wait, I just remembered that what my father said about this sentence, and this is it was a great moment for me, because he said, "Oh, such a stupid teacher, but she got the point. Now she understood the point." He made, I cannot tell. Okay, now she understands what Arabs feel like. Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, he had to be stupid and hurt her, but it's better. So.
Right. No, absolutely. Well, that's why it hit home for many reasons, I'm sure. And, it had a double meaning, right? So obviously it wasn't just about Lian and her body image. It was drawing a very important comparison. So I think it was a very clever line too that you threw in there, and difficult and explosive, but just a very perfect way of making everybody realize what you were getting at. So let me just ask you a few things that I think people might not know about, so that we can make sure we address those. One thing that comes up over and over, actually even more controversial than body image, even more controversial than the racism, seems to be a uniquely Israeli controversial issue that you bring up around military service. And it comes up over and over and over again. And it's almost the thing that certainly the principal of the school, it's more important to him in a way that he doesn't upset people. The comments that the teacher makes about military service are even more, bother people even more than the racism in a way. So can you explain about military service, and are there a range of opinions in Israel about that? Has it changed recently, or is it always changing? Can you talk about that just a little bit, if you can summarize it, make it simple for us?
Okay, so I'm not sure that I know what is the reason, but more than Palestine and very, very loaded words like apartheid, or many words that the Israeli conflict and the political and the Gaza and everything. All of the teachers that I talked to them, and all of the teachers that were fired, were talking about the IDF. They criticize